Welcome to another episode of So You Think You Know Westerville. In May 1951, the Public Opinion published an obituary that simply read, Alfred M. Coble, one of Westerville's oldest residents, died Saturday at his home, which was on Summit Street. He's buried here at Otterbein Cemetery. Although the obituary listed some surviving family members, it didn't provide any other details about his life, which, as it turns out, is actually pretty fascinating. Coble's family moved to Westerville from North Carolina in 1870 when Alfred was 3 years old. His parents probably wanted to be closer to the Alston and the Fouse families who had settled in the area a few years earlier. Perhaps Coble grew up hearing stories from when his family members were enslaved. Although Westerville later became known for its Underground Railroad legacy, Coble tested the town's dedication to freedom and equality for all. His first foray into politics came in 1896 when he and others in Westerville's Black community formed the Charles F. Galloway Club, which was named for a county clerk. The club sent delegates to the Afro-American League of Republican Clubs of Franklin County, which worked to combat racial discrimination on a local and national level. 3 years later, Coble ran for town marshal, and it was a pretty ugly race. Coble ran as the Republican candidate. The Columbus Dispatch described how Democratic voters didn't like his opponent, James Budd, because he wasn't a good Democrat, but they would vote for him anyway for the purpose, as they quietly say, of creating dissatisfaction among the colored voters who are all Republicans. The newspaper article went on. Many Republicans who would like to vote for Budd say now that they intended to vote for Coble and the whole Republican ticket to teach the Democrats, who are much in the minority, the lesson that they can't elect a man at any time on such a selfish and purely political basis. As it turned out, not many people voted in that election as usual, and Coble was not elected marshal. Coble was also an inventor. As many as 10 passenger trains a day rolled through Westerville in the 1890s. Maybe these massive machines of iron and steel sparked his imagination because he invented a device that fastened rails to railroad ties. This tool, which he received a patent for in 1915, was supposed to save labor and solve some of the problems that occurred when different parts of the railroad would expand and contract due to the weather. A letter to the editor written years later indicated that his invention never caught on. At the annual Alston, Fouse, and Coble family reunions in the 1920s, Coble regaled his family members with tales of the family's history, and he probably had some pretty interesting stories of his own to tell too. His creativity, technological savvy, and his courage to run for public office in the face of blatant racism shed a new perspective on Westerville history.